Hello and welcome back to another Terraria video, where today we're going to be fighting the Old One's army. Why, when I said last video we were going to be fighting the Moon Lord? Well, that's pretty simple. I screwed up my schedule and I couldn't make that video in time, so I'm doing this one. Anyway, let's get straight on with the strategy that we're going to be using to defeat Betsy and the rest of the army. Anyway, okay, so this is a Hoyt. This is how I'm gonna show you how to do the Hoyt glitch. It makes the army way easier. So what you want to do is place a block, hammer it into a slope that's facing down, and then just block swap it with a platform. You probably already know this because, well, most people do, and there's tons of videos on it. And I don't even know who originally found this out. Like, how would you even discover this? Like, what were they trying to do? Like, did they do it by accident? Anyway, yeah, so we're just gonna use this to push back all the ground enemies. This will make it way easier than it normally is. Now, to get on with the gear I'm going to be using the Phantasm and the Vortex Beater with Jester's arrows and my Phantasm, and what's it called again? Chlorophyte bullets in my Vortex Beater, and then I'm using Shrumite armor. Now, if you haven't beaten the cultist and gotten these weapons, then I would use the tactical shotgun instead of the Vortex Beater, and I would use the Tsunami or Eventide if you're going to use a bow. Or, you know, if you're using a different class. I'm like, what would be good for other classes? Well, Summoner would probably be like Desert Tiger with like the Eventide, like the whip from Empress of Light. Melee, it'd probably be the stuff from the Solar Pillar. Yeah, and what would you use for mage? I don't really know what you use for mage. Probably like Klinger Staff, just for the crowd control. Anyway, yeah, I'm just yapping on. I don't know. There was no script for this video because I did not plan this video. Anyway, yeah, so you want to mainly be focusing on the flying enemies, as pretty much all of the other ones aren't really a threat. Now, the crystal will definitely get attacked. Now, what I recommend doing is playing it a couple times, because as you can see, currently I'm using the weakest ballista, but as I play the army more, I'll get more defender medals, and then I'll get better staffs. So you probably won't beat it on your first try, unless you're really good at the game, I don't know. But, yeah, I recommend just playing it a couple times, just to get the medals, to get the strongest staff you can, which will really make the army a piece of cake. So, yeah, it's just the, any flying enemy, and this includes the Darkcaster, because they can shoot range projectiles and move over the Hoik, are really what you're going to be wanting to focus on. The other enemies don't matter at all, and yes, that annoying noise of the kobold trying to self-destruct will be in the background for the entire video. And no, there is no way for me to edit out, so you're going to have to deal with his annoying screaming. The ogre is basically, like, if you want to space the Hoik so that the crystal isn't on the screen when you're placing it. Because if the crystal is on the screen while you're placing it, the ogre can shoot, like, the ogre will, you know, he'll throw his slime ball and he'll hit the thing. Now, after you've done it a couple times, as you can probably see, I've done it just a couple by, you know, all the drops that I have, but I haven't beaten it yet. But yeah, you want to be placing. Now, I decided to go with flame bolt staffs, and because splash damage, and just look at that damage with the Jester's arrows. Now, if you're running Shrumite armor and you have the Phantasm, and then you also have the quiver, like the quiver that you get from the underground skeleton dudes, you basically have a 100% chance not to consume ammo. You'll still consume ammo sometimes, but you can basically just spam infinite Jester's arrows. You can also use holy arrows. Is that probably just as good? I think they're just as good. Like, they both have piercing, and the holy arrows do more damage. I don't know, I use Jester's. I don't know why. Jester. I'm pronouncing the word wrong. But yeah, you want to keep the banners that you get from the thing, not the decorational banners, but the ones that you get from the enemies, because any increased damage helps, really. But yeah, you just want to focus on crowd control, hitting as many enemies as possible, and getting as much Ethereum mana so that you can place down as many sentries as possible. I like to stack all my sentries on one side so that I can just focus on the other side, but honestly stacking them all in the middle so that they try and shoot the like aerial enemies, or spreading them out is just as good. There's no real strategy to this part. You just want to use the hoiks. I do recommend having a heart lantern, campfire, and all that in your arena. It just makes it a lot easier. But as you can see, I'm mainly using my bow, and I will be swapping to the chlorophyte bullet vortex beater when Betsy shows up, because that's the main thing you want to use, while the Phantasm is a lot better at dealing with the flying enemies. Now, it's not, like, it might be possible, but from my experiences doing this event, it is very difficult to actually get the crystal to not take damage. It's basically impossible. Now, I'm going to speed up this section for your convenience, because, well, the video would have been like 20 minutes, and I shortened it a lot, and it's like, why not? Make it shorter, a bit easier of a guide to follow. You know, the faster the guide's over, the faster you can stop listening to me yapping, and you can get back to playing Terraria, which is what you should be doing. But, yeah, so as you can see, Phantasm with Jester's arrows shreds this event. And then once you get to Betsy, I recommend swapping out any bow accessories as well as your helmet. And now, I found out that Betsy only does, like, she does a very low amount of damage to the crystal. So surprisingly enough, it's best to just dodge her attacks and kill the flyers before you kill her. Like, surprisingly enough. But yeah, her attack patterns are extremely easy to dodge. In fact, she's very, very dumb, and you can just float in the air on your broomstick, and she will do nothing. But, yeah, pretty much you just want to use your vortex beater with chlorophyte bullets, or your tactical shotgun with chlorophyte bullets, to kill the flyers that get near the crystal, and then whenever there's no flying enemies left, then go after Betsy. As funny enough, even though she's a boss, I would prioritize the regular flying enemies over her, because they both do the same amount of damage to the crystal. She does like 100 damage every time she dashes into it. It's like 150. They do like 150 as well every time they dive, but there's swarms of them. So unlike Betsy, they will shred the crystal because they spawn in groups. So I mainly think you should focus them. Then, you know, you kill her. Main reason I'm doing this event is because I like Betsy's wings more than Empress and Duke wings. I'm going to be honest, they're my favourite ones. And I'm going to be using them to fight the Moon Lord. I was going to post my video this week, because, you know, I post weekly videos. I was going to post a video on how to beat Moon Lord this week, but I died repeatedly to him, and then I made this video in a singular day because I didn't have enough time. Anyway, that's how you beat Betsy, the Old One's army. Not that bad. I think it's a very fun event. And, yeah, thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell. I'll see you next week with my Moonlord video. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what to say. Bye!